to Sanctuary Sunday. Sanctuary! Yes, the day that I cover something other than war games. And today we're covering Lhasa. This is a choose-your-own-adventure card game, or a narrative card game that follows a lot of the same aspects of a choose-your-own-adventure book. I covered earlier today Vinland, which is kind of a sister game to this, and these are both use the same mechanics. It gives you a deck of cards. There's really no rules. The rules are the first card, the first few cards. You're going to flip over a card, read it, and then follow that path. And each one of these has like 5 paths that you can go down. So there is some replayability in the box. You don't necessarily find just one optimal path like you do in a lot of choose your own adventure books. There's I think 5 here, and so there's some replayability. You go back in and say, well, I'm going to take a little bit different path and try to find that other ending. These are to me pull a lot of inspiration from a game that I've already covered, Lost Ones, which is a big box choose your own adventure narrative card game, but also a game that I don't have. But I played a little bit of, and that is Seventh Continent. And that was the one that, when it came out, breathed life into these type of games, these choose-your-own-adventure card games. It's very epic, and again, follows some of these same kind of mechanics of you're going to be flipping over a card, and Seventh Continent, just like Lost Ones, kind of lays out a map. You're going to be kind of following this map of an area and coming up with encounters. This one is not as elaborate, or these are not as elaborate. They're mainly just flip a card and see, and you're dealing with certain aspects of the game. They're not as involved or take up a table space like Lost Ones or Seventh Continent. So with that, let's take a look at the back of the box here. And these are small boxes, as you can see, kind of fit into a hand. And you can get these at anywhere from, I don't know, for some price usually under $15 or even under $12, which is good because there is some limit on replayability, right? You've got those 5 paths. Once you've experienced all 5 of them, then you're going to have to wait a while to either forget that or lose interest in it and then come back to it later on. So there is not necessarily a one and done, but maybe a 5 and done type aspect to some of these here. So looking at the back of the box, you're going to see some of the cards that you're going to encounter. It's from 1 to 6. You can play these cooperatively for 12 and up and 60 minutes. It contains 70 adventure cards, 1 history book. The history book is not the rule book. It is kind of a background of your area. And then the cards themselves are the rules and everything you need to play. And this says, follow multiple of different paths and explore various far-off lands. Only one path leads you to Alexandra David-Neel. So that's what you're trying to do in this instance. So let's get inside this box. Now, since it's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure path, it's just wrought full of spoilers, right? There's only so much we can look here and look at the different cards, because to do more would kind of ruin the whole thing. So here is your history book, and this is just a little fold out that's going to give you some background of the topic that we're going into here. So it looks like there's another one coming here. There's Vinland. I got Vinland and this Oklahoma. I haven't seen Oklahoma yet, so that's a new one. That's at all I've seen is these 2. So you got you have this deck of cards here. The cards are fine. They're good quality actually. Not too thick, not too thin. And this is all the information. So basically, this is how you start. I mean, you're going to start by reading this card here. It says, do not mix this card up in the deck and only flip them over at a time. Turn this card over. So you're going to follow exactly what it is. It talks about the 5 paths that you're going to go through. You'll turn this over and it explains how you read these cards. What some of the icons mean, what you do with the cards, and then each one of these are going to be some rules on here. So, I'll look at these first few cards, but that's about as far as I can go because you're going to get into the story here. So, Verdun, France, spring 1916. You're a French war correspondent. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. So it tells you draw card 4 and turn this card over. So you'll draw a card 4 and turn this card over, and then start reading there, and then starting with the Nightmare. Wow. So there, and then there's some icons that tell you what you need to do as well. So that's about as far as I can go. Hate to tell you, otherwise, the rest of this is the kind of the adventure book, so to speak, right? This is the whole point of the game is to go through this and discover those 5 paths. And so you've got a good sized deck of cards here that has where adventure awaits. So that is what you get in a box of Lhasa, part of the Cartaventura line, where adventure awaits. That's their tagline. Love to know what you think about this. Have you played either one of these? Have you played Lost Ones or Seventh Continent? Now, those are a little bit more involved and a little bit more of a give you a little bit more of a exploration field because you're building a map. These are more of a you're following just some paths. So these look a little bit more narrative and a little bit more like a choose your own adventure in card form. So anyway, love to know what you think about any of this or any of those type of games. And the best way I know that is drop me a comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section and start a dialogue up. Just keep it civil. Anyway, that's what I have for you today on Sanctuary Sunday. Thank you so much for stopping by on your Sunday or whenever you watch this. And take care. Thanks for watching.